Hey everyone, what's up? It's Eric with Advanced Level Automotive. Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to another video. Today, I'm going to be talking about something a little bit different, something that happened to me recently, which is something some of you guys may or may not have noticed depending on whether or not you follow the channel, but basically, I got hacked. Now in this video, I want to give you guys a full rundown on the story from beginning to end. Also, just take the opportunity to give you guys an update on the channel as far as where we're at now and what's going to be happening in the next few weeks. And so, if you guys are interested, please stay tuned to the video. So anyway, the story starts like this. One day, a few weeks ago, I was checking my email, which is something I pretty much do every day. However, being on YouTube and having my email address plastered all over the internet, checking my email can be quite the chore sometimes. So I tend to get a lot of solicitations from companies that want me to test a product. I get tons and tons of spam email like you wouldn't believe. And then I also get questions from you guys. And so I try to answer as many questions as I can. If I haven't gotten to your question, I apologize. Just understand that I am dealing with an inbox that's just massively overfilled and I can't get to it all by myself. I try, but I think I could try a little bit harder, which is what I'm planning on doing this year. So I'm going to put some more effort into trying to answer as many questions as I can from you guys. Anyway, like I was saying, I get tons of solicitations from different companies that want me to test or review a product. And sometimes these products don't even have anything to do with automotive. I get all kinds of companies that hit me up, clothing companies, shoe companies, wallet companies, stuff like that. And so generally, if it's not automotive related, I tend to just ignore them. I really have no interest in reviewing a product that really has nothing to do with what the channel is all about. However, there are tool companies that hit me up to test a product. A lot of times when you see me review some type of scan tool, something like that in one of my videos, oftentimes it's because the company sends it to me for free and they want me to check it out. Now, I do want to add a disclaimer here. I have never been paid by a company to review a product or sell a product. Essentially what they do is they send it to me for free. They ask me to review it. If I like it, I'll make the video and I'll recommend it to you guys. If I don't like it, I won't even make a video for it, to be honest with you. I just want you guys to know that I am in no way biased toward any tool company, nothing like that. I'm open to trying any tool company really, as long as I can try the product and let you guys know whether or not it's a good one, and also help you guys make the decision as far as whether or not that tool is right for you. Also, when they send me these tools to review, after I'm done with the video, I like to turn around and give them away to you guys for free. So that's why you see so many giveaways on the videos, is because, you know, if the company wants to send me a scan tool per se, yeah, if I think it's a good scan tool, I'll review it and then I'll just turn around and give it away to you guys. So any companies that want to send me free stuff, I'm all for it, because like I said, I don't really need it. I've got tons of scan tools already, and I know there's people out there that can't get a hold of scan tools, and so doing the giveaways is really my way of helping you guys out. Anyway, like I was saying, I was sifting through my email, going through the solicitations and deciding who to answer and who not to answer, because a lot of times these emails that I get from these so-called companies, they can be pretty fishy. And so when I read an email, there's some red flags that pop up that lead me to believe that, you know, these people really aren't being honest. Number one is, if I read the email and it either doesn't make any sense, or you can tell that whoever wrote it, English wasn't their first language, so they're using some type of translator to write out the email. And so that's one red flag for me. The other one is that whenever they write to me, it's from an email address that, instead of having the company name as the domain, because, you know, a lot of times with legitimate companies, they're going to have their own internal email address. And so, you know, if you get an email from, I don't know, a legitimate company, like let's say Launch or Autel or something like that, you know, a lot of times it's going to say, instead of at gmail.com, it's going to say at the company's name.com. And so that's one of the red flags that I look for. And so if I see that the email address ends with like CZ, that's something from like the Czech Republic, which I didn't know at the time. I know now, but a lot of scammers tend to use that. Anyway, like I said, red flags that pop up that just give me a really bad vibe. And, you know, with those, I tend to just ignore them. So anyway, there was this one company in particular that kept emailing me over and over again. And so I think in the span of like a week, I probably got like 3 or 4 emails from the same company claiming to be some type of video game company, that they had developed a mobile app video game. And so the first time that they emailed me, I thought it was really fishy because, again, like I said, red flags popped up. For one, it definitely looked like they were using some type of translator. And so it was difficult to make out exactly what it was that they wanted from me. And so I decided to ignore it. However, about the 4th time that they emailed me, I opened up the email and I read it, and I was actually pretty impressed because I could tell that whoever wrote it out, they spoke proper English. And so when I read the email, they basically said that they wanted me to do like a 30-second spot advertising in one of my videos, and they were gonna pay me for it. And so, at the time, I wasn't deciding that I wanted to do it. I basically just figured, it seems maybe a little bit more legit. I'll just respond to them and ask them for some more information. And so that's what I did. I emailed them back. I said, well, I might be interested. Just send me some more information, the rules, the terms, conditions, stuff like that. About a day after I emailed them, they responded back to me with an email that had an attachment in it. And so the email basically said, here are some instructions. They gave me some steps to follow, and then they gave me an attachment to download. And so when I opened up the folder, I was kind of weary downloading an attachment from an email, but I did run a virus scan on it. Now, I'm not gonna lie, the virus scanner that I use is just the Windows Defender virus scanner, and so it's not anything really special. But it didn't find any virus in the attachment file. And so, I decided to download it. And the thing about the file was that it was an RAR file. So you had to extrapolate it. You had to open it up and put it into a folder. And so, I went ahead and I did that. When I opened it up, there was basically 2 files in there. One of them was a 10-minute promotional video. It just showed like gameplay. And I figured, maybe this video was what they wanted me to use in the background while I'm doing my 30-second advertisement on my video. And so, I thought, okay, that's interesting. And then the second folder that was there, it said something like instructions or something like that. But basically, the second file, it had the icon as if this were a Word document. And so I was expecting to double click it and for this file to open up under Word, Microsoft Word, and I thought it was gonna be like a list, terms and conditions, some more rules, maybe a contract that I need to sign, something like that. However, when I double clicked on the icon, the file acted like it was gonna open. So I saw a little circle, kind of like a loading screen circle, but then it just went away. So at that point I was kind of confused. But then when I looked closer at the file name, I noticed that it didn't end with the .doc like most Word documents do. It actually ended with the .exe, as if this thing were an application. And so immediately that threw up a big red flag for me, because I knew that the only reason they would put a Word icon and it not be a Word document is because they're trying to fool you into opening the file. So immediately I went into defensive mode. I started trying to figure out what happened, because I knew I must have installed something. I was pretty certain that they tricked me into installing something into my computer. What it was or what it did, I had no idea. But the first thing I decided to do was run a full scan on my computer. Using the scanner that I have was just the Windows Defender, which, like I said, isn't the best antivirus or malware software there is. It's basically what comes built into Windows. And so that was one of my mistakes, is that, I didn't have the security to back up my computer in the event that something like this happened. So I ran the scanner. I actually ran it 3 different times and it didn't find anything. Never came back with any malicious software or anything like that. It said the computer was fine. However, I still wasn't convinced that there wasn't something malicious still in my computer. So I decided to shut my computer off for the night, which is something I think that, I really should have been doing to begin with. I'm not gonna lie, a lot of times I leave my computer on overnight. It does stay connected through the internet all night. I know it's not a good practice to do that. You really should turn your computer off at night, especially if you're not using it. Why have it on? So anyway, yeah, that night I decided to turn the computer off. I disconnected it. I figured the next morning I would call up Best Buy, the guys over at Geek Squad. If you guys don't know what Best Buy is, it's basically an electronics department store, but they have a technical service and repair side called Geek Squad, and I'm part of what they call the Total Care program. I bought that package because I go there a lot. I buy things for my computer and I have them do the installations and stuff like that. So anyway, with this membership that I have, they do offer free virus scans and spyware scans. And so my initial thought was I was going to take the computer into the store and let them do it there. However, because of my scheduling, I really didn't have time to do that. And I heard that you can actually do it online. So I figured that's what I would do. I turned the computer on the next morning. I got on the internet. I went to Best Buy, the Geek Squad. I connected with them and I asked them to run the virus scan on my computer because they can do that remotely now. And so basically, while I was chatting with the guys over at Best Buy, I told them the story, what happened. They said, yeah, they could run a virus scan on it. They can scan for malware and for spyware and whatnot. And so I can tell you exactly when my account was hacked. And the reason I know this is because when I was chatting with Best Buy, they were sending me some forms through email for me to accept because they were gonna access my computer through TeamViewer. And so they told me to go back and check my email one more time and accept the form. And I noticed that when I went back to my email after having just left my email, I went back to it and I couldn't log in. That's when I knew that I got hacked. Whatever they had me install on my computer was giving them access to see what was on my computer, and that's how they were able to steal the password for my Gmail account. As soon as I realized this, the first thing I did was I turned this computer off and I disconnected it from the wall. Then immediately I grabbed my laptop and I tried logging into my Gmail account. Again, I couldn't log into it because they changed my password. So the first thing I tried to do was recover my password. And so if you guys have ever tried to recover your password or change your password for Gmail, you'll know that there's two main ways that they authenticate who the owner of the account is. And one of them is through using your mobile phone number. If you lose your password or you forget it, you can have them text you a code to your mobile phone, and then you can punch that code in and it lets you change the password. The second way is through a backup email address. So when you set up your email account, you give them a backup email address so that they can send you a code to that email address, and then you can use that to restore your password. The problem is that when they changed my password, they immediately went in there, they changed the backup phone number, and they changed the backup email address. So at this point, I had no way of retrieving my account. Now, there is another way to authenticate your Gmail account, and that is with using the Google Authenticator app, which is something that I didn't have prior knowledge of before. The only reason I knew about it was because when I no longer had the option to use my mobile phone number or the backup email address, there was actually an option down at the bottom that said try another way. And so when I clicked on that, it asked me for the G authentication code, which is something that you're supposed to use the Google Authenticator app to get a code and put it into the Gmail. Now this of course is something that you had to set up prior to your account getting hacked. So this really was of no use to me. I really wish I would have known about it before. And looking back, I really wish I would have done more to try to secure my account, because there are also other ways that you can authenticate your Gmail account. But again, guys, these are things that you have to set up before somebody hacks your account and changes your password. So at this point, I knew getting my Gmail account back was going to be a serious process. And so at that point, I had to do as much damage control as possible, because I soon realized that once they had access to my Gmail account, they pretty much had access to all of my stuff. If you didn't know, Google is set up in a way to where they pretty much sync all of your accounts and your personal information, which makes it good for the convenience factor, but really bad if somebody has access to your account. Especially if you use Google Chrome as your main browser, you'll know that once you're synced into your Google Chrome account, it syncs your Gmail account, it saves all the passwords for all of the accounts to the websites that you visit, and it even stores your credit card information to make it easier for you to shop online. Not to mention, the password for your Gmail account is the same password for your YouTube account, and in my case, my AdSense account. Now, AdSense is how I get paid from YouTube, and so once they hacked my account and changed my Gmail password, I no longer had access to any of it. And as long as these hackers can log into your Gmail account, they can sync it to the Chrome browser and they can pull up your credit card information. They can log into any of your accounts. If you saved your passwords, including your PayPal account, your bank account, any of your credit card accounts, they have access to all of it. And so one of the first things that I did was I went to all of my financial accounts and I changed all of the passwords. So first of all, I went to PayPal because I knew they had access to my PayPal account. Again, if they log into my Gmail account and they sync to Chrome, Chrome has my password automatically saved for my PayPal account. They can log into it, change the password so that I can't get into it, and then they have access to my money. And so luckily, I was able to get to it before they were, and I was able to change my password. So I changed the password to my PayPal account, to my bank account, to all of my credit card accounts. I made sure that all of it was secure. Next thing that I did was I tried to log into my YouTube account, but of course I couldn't get in because they changed the password. On top of that, I had seen that they actually changed the name of my YouTube account to some sort of Ethereum channel or something like that. And I don't know what was going on with the channel, but they basically locked all of my videos so that nobody could watch them. And they started streaming some cryptocurrency scam. I don't know what it was they were doing. Some of you guys may have noticed that. I had gotten some emails and some messages from you guys with the concerns that somebody had hacked my account, which, you know, I'm sorry, I couldn't see those emails. If you emailed them to my email address, well, I didn't see them because I couldn't log into it. But anyway, I knew what was happening. I saw it happening in front of me. And at that point, I started to freak out. And then I realized that I couldn't even log into my AdSense account. And that's when it hit me that they had the ability to go into my AdSense account and replace the bank account number to where my payments get routed to. All they had to do was go in there and change the bank account number so that they could get the payment instead of me. I mean, imagine that, guys. Everything that I worked for the past 5 years, somebody took it away just like that. I was freaking out. I mean, I was actually having a panic attack. Now, I've never had a panic attack before. I've heard people talk about it before, but I'm telling you guys, at this point in time, I mean, it felt like I was falling and I was trying to grab onto something and I just couldn't because I felt like I was losing everything in an instant and there was nothing I could do about it. Anyway, after calming myself down, I started doing some research. And so I immediately tried to figure out if there was another way I could contact Google. First, I was trying to find a phone number, somewhere I could just call the company and talk to somebody and explain to them what happened. However, there is no direct phone number for you to contact Google. Now, I did find a phone number for the Google offices. However, this phone number did not help you if you lost access to your Gmail account. It basically just told you to go back to the website and try to retrieve your password that way. So anyway, I spent hours digging through the forums on Google trying to figure out if there was another way for me to retrieve my account. And everything I kept finding kept sending me back to the Gmail login, where basically you have to click where it says forgot your password. And like I said, I did not have a method of retrieving the account because they changed the phone number and they changed the backup email address, and I had not set up the Google Authenticator app prior to this happening. Meanwhile, I was going back and forth with my YouTube account and watching what they were doing. They basically deleted all of my videos, completely changed everything, and they were using my subscriber base to feed their BS scam to. Now, when I had seen that they deleted all of my videos, at that point, my heart sank. Now, I don't know if you guys realize this, but I put so much work into these videos, and if I ever lose the library of videos that I have, all of the work that I put into them, it would be devastating to me. I was freaking out because I didn't know if I was ever gonna be able to get those videos back. Anyway, in doing my research, I found that this has happened to quite a few different YouTubers. I was reading through forums and I was reading different people's stories. I was getting more and more worried actually, because a lot of these YouTubers had their accounts hacked and they didn't have access to them for months. And then when they finally did get access to them, they were pretty much blacklisted from AdSense because whoever had hacked their account was pushing out a bunch of spam. So again, guys, more reasons that I was freaking out about this. Anyway, I did come across a video on YouTube from another YouTuber who pretty much had a similar experience. His account was hacked, and I think he wasn't able to get access to his account for about a month or so. And so when I watched the video, he was explaining pretty much the same thing that I was explaining. And that was pretty much that he had tried everything to retrieve his Gmail account, but nothing was working out for him. Finally, in the video, he mentions how he was able to retrieve his account. And so what he said was he actually, on a whim, went onto Twitter and tweeted to the guys over at Team YouTube and basically said, please help me. Somebody hacked my account. I've tried everything to get it back and nothing is working. Somebody please help me. And lo and behold, somebody actually answered him. And I thought, man, I should try it. So immediately I went over to Twitter. And to be honest with you guys, I don't even have a Twitter account. I had to set one up. So after setting up my Twitter account, I went over to Team YouTube and I posted this. And by the grace of God, within about an hour, somebody actually responded to me. This person was amazing. They were like an angel sent from the heavens above. They were able to help me out one-on-one. I basically gave him the story, told him what happened. This person custom made me a form that I had to fill out, because you guys have to understand, I'm asking him to send the form to another email address that I do have access to try to retrieve an email address that I don't have access to. And so they basically have to just trust that I'm not lying. And of course, I have to be able to answer all of the difficult questions that were in the form. So I don't think anybody really could fill out that form if they didn't actually own the account, because there were some serious questions in there that I had to do some investigating to even answer it. I mean, they were asking for things like my YouTube ID number, which I don't even know. They also asked me for my AdSense account number, which I don't know off the top of my head. I had to do some serious digging because I couldn't even log into AdSense to see my AdSense ID account number. They asked me a bunch of personal questions. It took me a little while to fill it out, but once I was able to do it, I was able to get my account back the same day. After retrieving my account, the first thing that I did was I went in there and set up all of the security measures. I added the Google Authenticator app. I set it up. I made sure that this could never happen again. The next thing I did was I went over to my YouTube account. However, because my YouTube account had actually been terminated, because these guys were running a scam, I don't know how YouTube figured it out, or maybe when I messaged the guy at Team YouTube, he must have seen what was going on with the channel and how they were live streaming a scam. They immediately terminated my account. And now, once they terminate your account, it's not as simple as them just pushing a button and your channel coming back up and live. There was a whole procedure to bringing my account back to the way it was before. And so once they finally opened my account back up again, none of my videos were there. And so I was still freaking out, and they told me it was going to take some time. And so at this point, I was actually able to talk to somebody, because if you're part of the YouTube partner program like I am, you actually can go on there and chat with somebody. The only problem is if you can't log into your YouTube account, you can't chat with anyone. And so anyway, once I was able to log into my YouTube account, I was able to chat with somebody, and they basically told me, hey, it was going to take a few weeks for the channel to go back to normal. And so like I said, at first, none of my videos were there. And then finally my videos started slowly popping back up, and it was to where people could watch it again. And then I was able to change the name back to Advanced Level Auto. I did change the icon because they had changed the image. I still need to go in there and fix the background image and stuff like that. But my YouTube channel was slowly coming back to life. One of the other things that happened was all of the comments got deleted. Now that really made me upset because, you know, in the comments section of my videos, there's a lot of good information from a lot of you guys that are a lot smarter than I am, that chime in with some really good tips, information, things that I didn't even know about. And so what I really like about the comments section within our community is that, you know, even if you watch the video, there's way more information if you go into the comments section from different people that are watching the video and they just want to add some extra information, or they want to correct me. You know, I'm fine with people correcting me. In fact, I want you guys to correct me. So if you hear me say something in one of my videos that isn't technically true or it's false, then please let me know in the comments section. Anyway, like I said, I was really upset when all of the comments went missing. However, after a few days, they did finally start to come back up. Like I said, after about a couple of weeks, everything pretty much went back to normal. However, at this point, there is still one issue that I am dealing with, and that is the fact that if you actually go to my homepage, none of my videos show up there. So you can see my videos if you search for them, but when you go to the homepage, they don't pop up. So I am actively working with somebody to try to fix that. Now, my problems didn't end there. I still had the issue with having whatever was installed in my computer still in my computer. So at that point, I had to take it to a professional, a specialist, to try to have them restore my computer. Now, unfortunately, they ended up having to wipe my hard drive, and I was not able to retrieve the past 2 months worth of videos that I shot, because the last backup that I did of my computer was from back in November. And so I was able to restore my computer to back in November. However, everything that I shot between then and now, I pretty much lost all of that footage. Now, this to me was really a letdown. I mean, they really tried to retrieve my stuff, but whatever I installed into that computer, I mean, it really messed it up. So here we are now. I've got my computer back, but like I said, I did lose a lot of footage, and so that really put me behind as far as my video schedule that I like to keep, because I like to keep my videos to at least once a week. But at this point, like I said, I lost everything from the past few months, and so I had to start filming again to try to post stuff for you guys. And so that's why there's been such a delay in the time between posting my last video. Now, I am working on a couple of videos right now. For one, the Explorer, if you guys remember, I did decide to fix it, so I'm just about done with that. I will be posting a video on that soon. Also, the Infinity FX35, if you guys recall that one from the last video, well, the customer brought it back. They wanted me to fix it, and so I've got a really interesting video on that one. I'm editing it right now. I'm hoping to post it soon. I just wanted to post this update for you guys and let you know what happened before I just start posting videos again. Anyway, with this video, I guess what I'm really hoping is to bring awareness to some of you guys and let you know that you know, this can happen to any of you. If you guys don't have your accounts secured, make sure you go into your Gmail account or whatever email address you use and secure that thing. I mean, as many ways as you can to try to secure your account, please do so, because you might not be able to retrieve your account as quick as I was able to. And so anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Like I always say, I hope you found it informational, educational, entertaining. If you did, make sure to give it a thumbs up. If you haven't done so already, make sure you subscribe to the channel, hit that notification bell. I'll see you guys in the next one. Thanks.